Woo.
All right, so.
Okay, this is so exciting. Thank you so much for, joining me tonight.
Why am I not seeing your live? Why is it not on?
There. We are live. And people will join us shortly. And seriously, Mariam, thank you so much for joining me tonight. As you know, this is my first time since early July channeling the librarians in public. And of course, I've been in constant communication with them every day because it's not like they go away. And I have channeled them for clients who have booked private sessions to talk with the librarians. If anyone's interested in that, go to my website, bonitawoods.org, and in private sessions, you can book one.
I highly, highly recommend it. She is fabulous. And honestly, you have to experience it for yourselves. It's really worthwhile.
It's really amazing. The advice they give is so insightful because they're not just here to teach about healing the planet. They are the book of all records. Everyone who books a session with me, the librarians have their book of life, all of their past lives. They know the current life path. They know the challenges of the current life. Sometimes when I work with clients, the librarians are saying to the person saying, oh, what about this? What about that? I'm really trying to make this work. And the librarians are saying, please stop that. That has nothing to do with your life path. That's why it seems to go nowhere. What you need to do is, and they are like so on point all the time. They're really,
yeah.
But this is my first time since early July channeling them in public. So I have stage fright without question.
You rock this. Just don't worry. It's going to be great. And here we have Nazi already here. Hi, Nazi John.
Hi, Nazi. But it's a reminder to everyone that if you feel nervous or like you're not qualified to do something you want to do, I mean, I know Mariam and I mean, everyone feels that way. Like, I don't feel unqualified to talk with the librarians because they've kind of been with me my whole life, but to channel them in public every time, it's nerve-wracking beforehand, every time.
We have faith in you, complete faith in you. You can do
well, it. Every time they have come through and they've been awesome.
Yes.
Sure.
And I love how humorous they are.
They are funny.
They have a great sense of humor.
So everyone, thank you for joining us. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Shelley. So glad we are getting some wonderful people here. I'm Bonita of bonitawoods.org. I'm here with Mariam Sardari of thecoreshift.com. Mariam is one of possibly the best life coach I have ever had the pleasure of working with.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
In fact, Mariam has helped me get my life back on track. I myself am one of Mariam's clients, and little time with you shifts a whole lot. Just amazing.
Thank you. Very kind.
Mariam agreed to be here tonight. Thank you so much. I know you moved a lot in your schedule to be here.
Oh, I love to be with the librarians. Thank you.
You were the person they requested.
I love to do it. Thank you for letting me be here. Looking forward to this.
Yes. Now, for people who want to work with the librarians, go to my website, bonitawoods.org. It's just $20 a month. We meet like pretty much once a week on Wednesday nights at this time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And they'll come through with lessons. Like one week they'll come through with a lesson, and then the next week we'll work on it together so that we learn how to implement and grow and evolve their lessons. We meet for about an hour, and this is the new series is starting on February, I think 9th, the second Wednesday in February. It will be, their goal is to empower as many people as possible to become global healers.
It is not.
Yeah. Since 2017, they have been trying to teach people how, as they say, even if you are locked in a room and you have no contact with anyone, to still be comfortable with your ability to heal people, to heal those you love, to heal the planet. And this is a concept that used to really anger healers. But now I think a lot of us understand they were trying to prepare us for what we're in now, because they're speaking to us from our future. They're in the future. So when they talk to us tonight, they're looking from the future to us, and they see the path, but they see all the possible paths. It is inevitable that humanity and our planet will get to where they are. The only question is how much pain and suffering and destruction and death and illness and, anxiety do we need to go through before we finally find our way to the right path and get to where they are. So they will usually come through saying something like, rejoice, it is inevitable that humanity will evolve to a glorious state of being. However, how long will that take? How much death and destruction will happen? That is up to you. When all of humanity comes together in the act of healing the planet together, that's when we'll find our way to the path. And there have been a few times in the past where they've gotten excited, we think you're on it, and then we all fall apart. And then we think you're on it, and then we all fall apart. So there have been a few times when they've channeled messages of encouragement saying, you're on it, you're on the path, and then humanity, global humanity, falls apart. So they certainly, they share with me a lot of visions of what the future, what's ahead of us on our current path. And it's usually pretty awful. And I usually warn everyone, I do live streams saying, watch out, this is a vision I had, this is what's coming along. And everyone gets really angry at me because it's pretty, horrible.
Bleak.
Yeah. Even my visionary friends usually see the brighter paths of vision or the brighter aspects. Like we may see the same path, but they see the brighter stuff, I see the darker stuff. So we mush our visions together. But there's a lot of bleak stuff coming. And I am tired of sharing bleak visions. It is more helpful, I think, to share the librarians and their visions of the ultimate, the end game here, and to help pull us onto the path that is the most healing and revitalizing, one filled with the most vitality.
Yes, revitalizing.
Yeah.
Perhaps they give you all this detail about the bleakness because they want to basically encourage or maybe propel everyone to just start sending light in order to change it. Sometimes when we hear so many things about the dog, we kind of feel like, oh God, you feel burdened and heavy, and you just kind of feel like you want to give up. But I'm thinking that's just my own interpretation of all this bleakness that they're telling us about, because we as humans have a choice, we can decide to all rally and just start blasting light everywhere.
Exactly.
And that would change things a bit, you know,
Mhm.
change the vibration.
This is true. And that's the thing, like when they show me all the things to come, it is like, you know, when you have a wound that's healing, like a bruise or a scab or anything, and it hits the point where it's getting kind of itchy and you just want to like poke at it, even though it hurts, it feels kind of good. So when we go forward to the vision that I see, at least for me, it's that kind of relief that's really not healthy, because I know that at least we're going forward on the path. But I also see the distant future. I have this entire life, I've seen future Earth, and it's in hand's reach. It's up to us. Just like in our regular life, like in your life path, in my life path, in all of our life paths, it's our choice. How hard do we want to learn a lesson, or how easy do we want to learn a lesson?
Right.
And if the majority of humanity wants to go the hard way, that doesn't mean we individuals have to.
True. True.
And part of that is we do not need to feel toxic from what's around us. We can connect with this future vision and bring the glorious beauty from there to the present, which is, you know, eyes on the prize. It's no different from in our personal lives when you're in a dark situation. Is that
Sorry.
Theo?
This is Theo. He just always shows up at the at the worst times.
The best times.
It's like they know is exactly the time when you don't have time to give them attention. That's when they want it.
He is the sweetest cat.
He is, he is.
So I was, you know, like in our personal lives, when you're in a time when it's just full of despair, you can sink in it, or you can say, wait a minute, I want my life to be not here, but here, and let the energy of that pull you to it.
Exactly.
So our individual life paths and the collective of Earth's life path are the same, really. You know, it's the same conceptually. And the more we bring light into our personal life paths, the more we can share light with the collective of humanity and Earth.
I really believe that. Really believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is a lot of what we'll be working on Wednesday night, starting February 9th, is how to be that powerful, how to be so empowered that the beauty of Earth's future, the love of all the dimensions, you know, the power of the Akashic Library can flow through each of us to infuse this into the world around us.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Everybody, you should sign up.
It will be fun and empowering. And we have a lot of wonderful people here. Oh, thank you. Thank you all for the lovely messages. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. So because it's my first time, oh my God, I'm tripping over my own tongue. I'm so nervous.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Because this is my first time since July, and I have no idea what they're going to say. That's the thing. Like, it's not like they give me a script in advance or anything.
What's the fun of it? Just blame it on them if it's bleak and whatever. It's like, hey, I'm just a messenger.
Oh, so often someone will say to me, Bonita, when you said blankety blankety blank, and I'll go, that doesn't sound like something I would ever say. Oh no, the librarian said. I'm like, yeah, please make a distinction there. So for all of you who are new to this, here's what's about to happen. I am going to take a moment to be quiet, and Mariam, if you could talk with them about like what you're working on right now. Tell them about your YouTube channel, your amazing private sessions that you offer. And, I'll take a moment. It's pretty quick. I've done this like thousands and thousands of times, so it's a pretty quick process. I'm going to take a moment to get myself completely aligned, and then I'm going to open up my crown chakra and my root chakra completely and expand all of my chakras. They got to get big to host the librarians. The Librarian Collective is already here, but they're very patiently waiting. They know that they're making me nervous, so they're giving me a little space right now. But they're back here right now. I can feel them. They're going to come in and take over my body. When they come into my body, I will leave my body and join them and be part of their collective. So for those of you who don't know, a collective is when, when you have a person in your life or a group where you guys are in such sync that you don't even need to talk out loud. You just know each other, like you're just in harmony, you're in sync with each other. That's a collective. It's a lot of individual souls who are like in perfect sync with each other. So each soul, each librarian has their own life, their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own, daily tasks or whatever. And they have their like friends or groups they work with, but they are also in total sync with each other. So sometimes when they talk, they will speak individually, and it could be one individual of the collective speaking out. Sometimes when they talk, they will speak as a group, and they may be speaking for the entire collective or a subgroup within the collective. And on Wednesday nights when I channel them, it's a lot more interactive, and everyone who's there in the group can ask questions. And sometimes they're like, okay, who's talking to us now? Wait a minute, the voice just changed. Wait, what you're saying is a little conflicting with what the other one just said. And they're like, well, yes, because we're speaking from over here and they're speaking from over there. And so,
and also, can I
Mhm.
ask a question? Well, just a reminder that first, when they come through to you, you'll just say, you'll just let them say whatever that they want to share, and then people can ask questions.
Yeah, everyone, if you have questions, that type them in the comments, and Mariam will share them. Or, I always say I'll get to them later, but in order for me to catch everyone's questions, I have to watch the video with the question, like the comments. So feel welcome to email to me, bonita@bonitawoods.org. I name everything after me, so it's easy to find me.
I thought it would be important to remind everyone that, when they come in, they do have a message they want to share. So we can let them, tell us what that is. And then if there are questions that arise from that, then that definitely can be asked as well. And we'll try to get to it.
And Mariam, do you have the YouTube channel up on your laptop?
The YouTube channel.
Okay, great. So you can type in questions and Mariam will do her best to share them. Sometimes the librarians psychically, whatever it is they do, answer questions while they're even being typed in. So I will be aware of everything they're saying. However, I won't be aware the way I am when I'm talking. When I'm talking, I know what I'm saying. I'm going to be tranced out and part of the collective, but most of the time it's almost like they have me in the projection booth of a movie theater, and while you all are watching the movie, I'm in the projection booth where there's like a billion librarians, and they're showing me mini videos all around and giving me micro lessons, and then like, here, take a moment, relax, we're going to heal you, and like we got our own little party going on. So sometimes I have to watch the video afterwards. I'm like, dang, I sound good when someone else is talking to my body. Or I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And oh, thank you guys. So many loving comments, so many loving. Thank you. I'm so glad you all joined us tonight. Okay, no more procrastinating. Mariam, it's 7:20. Let's let the librarians talk for like 20 minutes and then check in. I'm not sure how much I should hold in me this first time.
Yeah, just go for it.
Okay. So, Mariam, please tell us about your why it is I love your, oh God, they're already coming in.
Yeah.
Why I love your life coaching so much and all that.
So just in the minute that she's getting ready, just want to let you all know, as she mentioned, I do coaching, and I am actually very excited that I am working on this new course that will be online, and the launch is to be in February, toward the end part of February that I'm going to launch it, and I'm super excited about it. I'll do more postings on that, but I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an announcement here. We'll launch it on the same day, but it would be available on my website afterwards for self-study as well. So this is a new offering that I'm putting up, and I also do these channeled angels. So if anybody's interested, these angels find the person who needs them. So if you feel drawn to it, contact me afterwards. It looks like she is getting ready. She might be ready. Here we go.
Indeed, we are here. We are still entering. And we speak with the channel of how simple this would be should she merely shave her head from these hairs. Perhaps you would remind her that this is our request. She seems to forget such things. Indeed, we are in despite these many hairs for which we have no appreciation.
She does.
Greetings to our dear friend.
Very good to see you. Greetings to you.
We say we approve of your angel guide art. They are most accurate and well divined.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Indeed, greetings to all of you. As usual, our sweet channel has spoiled the soup by giving away all of our information before we are allowed to even utter a sentence. We are speaking to you from your future. Therefore, we say, rejoice. Your planet will not be destroyed. Your planet will evolve to something quite spectacular. And each of you who are alive on your planet at this moment has an invitation in your hand, in your heart, to join us in this glorious future Earth.
That's wonderful to hear.
There will be a time when the base emotions, hatred, acrimony, anger, lasciviousness, will be confined. They will not fit with the ambiance of this lovely planet.
Great.
Yes, all humans will be as you are, yet your most elevated selves, for there will be no need for the negativity. This will disperse For just as if you are under the water, you must become buoyant. When you are in the planet of your future, you must be filled with collective harmony. This is inevitable, for we are speaking from our present to your future. We tell you, it is quite lovely and harmonious.
That's very good to hear. Do you have any sort of perhaps a time, three-dimensional time frame, perhaps?
Indeed, this is what we are endeavoring to assist you humans with. For it could have already occurred, except you are a tenacious society. Ergo, we are trying to bring our time to your time closer and closer if possible. It would be nice if it would happen within the next decade. The beginnings, it would be wonderful if the beginnings could happen in the next few years. Here are some signs that you know it is happening. The leaders of your planet come together with healing purposes. At the moment, there is quite a kerfuffle on your planet. There are many revolutions and coups occurring, for there are those who wish for lightness to dissipate. They wish to maintain their power through dictatorship and abuse. But if you look upon your planet, if you look upon the nations, the peoples who are suffering abuse, and you think, how is this different from a family that suffers abuse at the hand of one terrible person? This family may stay under the authoritative abuse, or they may have that one removed or remove themselves, or many other options, of course. We see many of you reeling, as there are a number of you who can relate to this scenario. So as those who wish to be the great dictators, be it of a town, a continent, a country, a planet, they are striving to be abusive. There are those who are also great leaders who are striving to be benevolent. Of course, there is a conflict here, but you do not need to hear from us. You are aware of this. When the humans are in conflict over ridiculous power struggles, your beautiful Mother Earth will rise up and create a solution. A virus was an opportunity for all humanity to come together. This is not working so well, so you will see more events rising from Earth that will invite all of humanity to come together. It is inevitable that eventually all humanity will come together. The only question is, how much suffering will you endure before you learn this lesson? Of course, not each of you. Many of you have already learned this lesson, and you are wondering, how long must you wait till the others learn this lesson? We wish to speak tonight about this, for it is a painful experience to be a person of good heart and deep concern, to be aware of all this suffering and to see the suffering increase, yet feel inept to be of help, and to feel deep concern for the planet's future, for the animals, for the earth, for the oceans, for the children. This can easily stop you, bring you to deep depression, to ambush your psyche and disarm your spirit. Especially if you feel inept to cause difference, to be effectively healing. It is very easy to absorb the toxicity around you instead of sending your beautiful energies out to others where you feel they are not receiving. We wish tonight to speak on this dire subject so that we may bring better hope to your hearts, enlighten your mind as to why would you, a being of such beauty and divine aptitude, be here in this situation, watching without being able to help. We ask our friend, do you feel this way?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
very much so.
Mm-hmm. We believe that it is a most damning situation for those who are of pure essence. So understand, if this is a situation you feel connected with, then perhaps this moment is not your time for healing the planet. Suppose you are walking down the street with a dear friend. You're having wonderful conversation, enjoying the beautiful environment. When your dear friend sees another friend, they get into a skirmish and the fists start fighting and they are rolling about, hitting, kicking, yelling. So, and you say, stop it, you two are my friends. Why? But they do not hear you. You must stand on the sidelines or dive into the fray. If you dive into the fray, you will be harmed. If you stand on the sidelines, you will feel inept until they are finished with their fighting, perhaps of their own accord, perhaps because they are pulled apart, at which point you may begin healing. You may speak with them, bring them together in harmony to help soothe them. At this time, they will hear your words they would not have heard while they are fighting. This moment on your planet is much like this. If you are sending all your energy towards healing that which is rejecting your beautiful skills, then that is not where you should be healing at the moment. Rather, for now, put your energy towards where you have an effect, towards where you feel the goodness in yourself and the joy. This does not mean you are being callous or turning your back upon the suffering. It merely means your time for purpose is not yet here. So how do you spend your time in the here and now? You spend it with growing your skills, becoming a great sacred vessel for love and healing. You spend it with healing that which you may have an impact, and with finding ways to fill yourself with connections to all that is good. If there are acts that you can do that affect good impact, then certainly. But if your acts are merely rebuked and have no impact, then that is not where your energy should be. That is most draining for you. Does this make sense? Have we questions about this?
Makes absolute sense. But let me see if anybody else has any questions regarding this.
Indeed. Indeed, if you have questions, please share them, for this is an imperative conversation. It is distressing to see such beautiful souls brought to distress because you do not know how you can be of service. Your service is not now. Your service will be later, and it will be obvious to you. For now, develop your skills, develop your core of power. Or as our good friend here says, shift your core to create the flow of your being.
So it is okay to not be entangled, or to choose not to entangle oneself in what we might observe as unproductive and out of alignment with what we believe should be in alignment.
Indeed, it is most important that you are in alignment, so that when your time comes, you may be impactful.
But it seems like there are so many in the, let's say, the spiritual community, for one, that really intend, I believe they intend, it's all good intentions and they mean well, but there is also so much discord and disharmony in this community.
Many at the moment feel out of place. They're floundering. How can I help? How can I help? And when you are floundering, when you are off your kilter, the messages you receive are not pure. They are also off alignment and only partial snippets. So there are many who are trying to make sense of what they're receiving, using their brain, their logic. But this is the opposite of how you are meant to connect and receive. You must open yourself with full heart. If your heart may not be completely open, then you must invite your heart to heal. If you are in chaos and distress and depression, your heart will not heal. So you must find yourself into a situation where you may be healed. When you are healing, even in the process of healing, your heart will open with trust that the healing will continue. Your heart will open and you have trust. Then the messages, the epiphanies, the insights, the mandalas, the grids that you see, that you understand, will make more sense. Of course, it is sorrowful that so many humans are suffering and dying. It is tragic that so many of the animal collectives are impacted by the human's behavior. However, this has already been set in motion. If you are overwhelmed by this, then you are overwhelmed by actions that occurred in the past that created a ripple effect. You are overwhelmed by ripples. You can have no impact upon them. What you can do is claim your best self, align with your soul, with your guides, with your angel, with your librarian, your personal librarian. Become empowered, and then invite the divine harmony to work with you to heal your planet.
Okay.
The only thing standing between you and your ability to be a great healer, and we are speaking to each of you, is your full openness and your faith in self. Your Buddha had faith in self. Your Jesus and his bride Mary had faith in self. Your Nebuchadnezzar had faith in self. Many on your planet have had faith in self. Your Amma has faith in self.
She's lovely.
Indeed. All it takes is faith in self, and the universes, the dimensions open to you.
There are a couple of other questions. Is it okay if I ask those now?
Please.
Okay, great. So Nancy's saying, there is a saying that silence in the face of cruelty or injustice is complicity. Are you suggesting we not stand up aloud for equal justice and ethics, but rather spend our time in other pursuits?
This is a most excellent question, one that we would willingly converse over for an extended time. However, for this moment, our abbreviated response, one must never stand silently by in the face of injustice. And we know what a pure heart you have towards this, our friend Nancy. No, to stand by as you watch a person abused or stomped or harmed or the planet harmed. No, there is not silent, for indeed this is complicit. There is a difference between allowing harm to occur without speaking up and in putting your energy where it has impact. Each of you knows in your heart which causes you rally towards. You cannot rally to all causes, for it is too much. So you choose your causes. However, of course, a person of good heart will not stand by silently. There are many ways where you may show your spirit. What we do say is, if you are putting all your energy towards an avenue that puts walls before you and sucks your spirit from you, leaves you depressed and ineffective, then take time to heal yourself and choose a different path. Your heart will always tell you. Even if you choose to be on the path of flowing love and energy to the plants of your planet, and this is your path, if there is a peaceful march and you wish to go, which If it is a march to help raise the spirit of humanity, of course you wish to go. Then of course you go. If you see a person strike one who is weaker in front of you, you may speak up. This is not diffusing from your path of flowing energy towards the healing of the plants. But if all of your energy is going to an avenue that leaves you depleted, depressed, and ineffective, if you are receiving the overwhelming energy of that upon you, to separate your focus from that to that where you are effective does not mean you deny it. You may still be an advocate, but understand healing your planet includes healing yourself as well as healing others. You must be your wholesome self. We look upon many light bringers at this moment, and you are exhausted, deplete. Many of you, not all of you, of course, but many of you. We wish to tell you it is appropriate for you to take time for self, to pursue that which vitalizes you. We hope our friend Nancy, please respond with your typee if what we say makes sense or if we are inarticulate. There is a difference between standing up for justice and integrity and determining which is your cause for your primary energies. Do we make sense, our friend Mariam?
Yes, absolutely. While
We
Nancy,
hope so.
While Nancy is giving her answer, there is another question which in a way you sort of alluded to, but the question is, why are people, especially of like mind, not connecting?
There is like mind, there is like heart, there is like frequency. It's very difficult for multiple people to be of like mind and spirit and soul and heart and integrity. We do not mean integrity in the way it sounds. Inspiration. Everyone is going forward on the path that is most obvious in front of them. Sometimes humans think and say, is this my best path? Sometimes humans plow forward and sometimes humans stay stagnant, afraid to go forward. Even if each of you sees the same path, you must work with your lifetime karmic challenges and your personas. Remember, not every light bringer on your planet is on the same path that you are. There are many souls on your planet who could already have ascended from humanity, but choose to remain to help heal your planet. There are those who have hurried their karmic challenges up, continued through, as you would say, extra tutoring so that they can catch up, but they have not yet the extraordinary skill sets of those with more lives and experiences. So you have one who could be an ascended master and one who has hurried up their karmic skills, but they have not experienced. They may be of like mind, but they have not the same girth and gravitas with their forward path. And then you have the light bringer who has come to this life to work on arrogance. So they have much in egotistical challenges. And you have another one who is working on healing. So they care not about ego, they care more about compassion. And these two see the same path, but from different vantages. You are a wonderful, complicated group. And you will never have the entire of you light bringers together in one mindset until you release the thought that one way of being is superior to another. When you bring all of the light bringers together, what you will have is a marvelous symphony of light brought to your planet. You will have your own collective of light bringers. And this is something we see that will occur. Light bringing collectives will start popping up around your planet and become more and more. We hope this is articulate.
It's very articulate, and Nancy also appreciated your answer, previous answer. We have one more question, and then we can call it a night. Shelley is asking, can you speak about what is going on with Russia? Is there a war in our near future?
It is very likely. The only way to prevent the war is for all of the leaders who care for peace to come together and stand against Russia. So long as Russia dangles, we have the gas pipes that you crave, and everyone else is cowed by that, the loss of a precious earth element, then there will most likely be indeed a war. However, we have hopes that your more intuitive leaders will come together and stand up to the tyranny, just as a family that stands against an abusive one within the family.
Okay, can I just add a little bit to this, because this just was a surprise. Some of us have heard about the Galactic Federation, or whatever you call them. Helping
they are our dear friends, yes.
Yes, are here helping humanity not to enter into major wars. Even with that kind of help, do you think that we might go into war with Russia?
There are many of us, the Galactic Collective, our collective, Angelic Collective, even your souls, the collective of humanity on the highest frequency of your being, are all trying to help your planet. But as we said, it is up to you to choose your path. There's the collective human path, and then you have your individual path that you hope to align with the paths of those who are of like mind and heart to yourselves. Humanity will continue to suffer and diminish until such time as humanity comes together to be, in essence, a physical collective. When humanity, when your leaders come together to heal issues, then you will find you already have on your planet more than enough bounty to care for every living being, be it human, animal, plant, that there need not be more destruction. that everything is here in bounty. It just needs to be shared. Until such time, you will have more and more difficulties. For think to yourself on your life path, on your personal life path, times when you have been self-destructive. Remember a time when you have made unwise choices again and again and again until you become very low within yourself. And finally, you realize you must pull yourself out, learn your lesson, and go forward. And as you go forward, another perhaps many years later experience happens. You go, aha, I recognize this. And perhaps you fall into that same lesson again, but you learn very quickly, get out quickly. Or you recognize from a distance, say, I am not falling for this. And then further down your life, many years later, you realize that you have no connection to anything. You cannot even remember how you could have been so caught in this negativity once in your life, for you have completed that lesson and it is no longer a part of your life path. Humanity is in a collective life path. It is imperative that humanity learn this lesson, for until you learn it, more and more will happen to drag you down and down. It is inevitable that humanity will learn this lesson. The only question is how many humans will be on the planet. If you insist that disease and war be part, not you individuals, of course, you are hoping to help heal the planet, not destroy it, but if the overarching humanity insists on allowing viruses and wars to occur, then there will be much death and destruction to the civilizations of your society. And we have spoken of this many times. What happens then? There become less people. Those who are here return to smaller communities, return to connecting with Earth for survival. And in that process begins the path for human collective and healing. So it is inevitable. The only question is, how close to now will your global society learn this lesson? We wish we had more soothing answers for you. There have been multiple times in the past decades where we thought this was happening, but then it fell apart. We do have faith that at some point humanity will learn this. And we have faith because, of course, you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was very illuminating. We're very happy that you could join us tonight and give us this very important message.
This is a dire time for the peoples of the planet. You will get through this as a global collective when and how is in the hands of your peoples. Between now and then, we ask each of you, please care for self. Take care of yourselves. Hone your skills. Live your lives the best you can. And evolve yourselves the best you can within your karmic life path. For it is inevitable that the day of the light bringers will be a marked day in the calendar of your planet. Until then, of course, stand for what you believe in. Go forward with your heart. Keep yourself safe and healthy, we ask. Healthy of your mind, your soul, your heart, your body.
Thank you so much.
We thank you, and like you, we hope that humanity will come together sooner, which is why we are here, to help share with you, empower you, so that the dawn of new earth may be more immediate.
Yes.
Blessings to each of you. We are grateful for the time that you have shared with us.
Blessings. Thank you so much. Welcome back. How you doing?
Oh, wow. I didn't really, wow, they were here for a while.
Yeah, they had a lot to say. I didn't
Yeah.
feel right about cutting them off too much.
They do have a lot to say. They're really concerned about, I mean, more than anything, they feel concerned about those of us, all of us, about our emotional well-being.
Actually, they talked a lot about that. Like,
Yeah,
just
I could
take care
really
of
feel it.
yourself and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you all.
Powerful messages.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much, Mariam, and thank all of you for joining us. And let's see, can I download? Nope, I don't know how to download the messages. So if we didn't answer your questions, please email me. Oh, thank you, Nancy, for your kindness. Email me, bonita@bonitawoods.org. If you wish to get in touch with Mariam, her website is thecoreshift.com, and your email is mariam@mariamsardari.com.
Yes, yes. I
And
put my website in the comments.
oh, good, good. And I would say this is a tough subject. Like, I think you guys understand why I wasn't eager to be like sharing all of this. It's tough, but I see the future that they're speaking from. It's beautiful. So we can get from this to that.
Yeah. And they did start out with that aspect this time.
Yeah.
They mentioned that there is a lot of beauty to be had if we were to decide to learn basically the lessons faster and come together and work together rather than beating each other up.
Exactly. They really, it's difficult to talk about something that's so serious and also be inspirational. Although I'll say on the weekly lessons, it's a lot more inspirational.
I really did feel like this time was a lot lighter in terms of the way they gave the message. They kept giving hope in, like injecting hope into the message. Like, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be so bleak for so long, and Shelley asked about whether we're going to go into war with Russia. And they said, well, there is a likelihood. However, again, if the other leaders...
They are really afraid that will happen.
Yeah. But they said, like, if other leaders can't get on the same page with each other and, come together, then that's not going to happen. But
yeah, at this moment, Russia is trying to knock out the internet connection from Europe to the US. they're actively trying to do that. They did it in like Norway, I think, from Norway to the US, and they're doing it from Ireland. And these are like the two main cables that send internet from Europe to the US. And, you know, that's definitely, you know, and communication, all communication. So it's a dire time. It's a dire time, but the librarians have faith in all of us that, you know, like they said, think about times in our lives when we have been like in the lowest point, and then we're able to learn, wait a minute, this is a lesson. We might not realize it at the moment, but whether it's pre-planned before life or whether it's something that just happens, you still got to get out of it, through it, get on, learn what you got to learn, and go forward with that knowledge and skill.
Yeah. The only thing of concerned, you know, like with regards to what you just said, you know, like unfortunately the US itself is so divided that it's a lot easier for whoever wants to take over to do that. Because
Yeah.
we all can't get along right now either. And we're forgetting to see the bigger picture here. We can't seem to agree on what that is, you know.
You know, they did show me when you asked about the Galactic Collective, they did show how there's like all these gateways and portals that are wide open to Earth. The only thing is, as many light beings and multidimensional beings of like kindness and love and joy who are trying to help, there's also a lot of more devious beings who are also sending it through. And as I've said in the past, right now, a lot of the younger souls are the ones who are running the planet, and they're not mature. So it's like having a bunch of 9 to 12-year-olds turning our planet into Lord of the Flies, while the adults are going, oh, I don't know, because most of us light bringers were older souls. And yet we're standing in the sidelines, not feeling empowered.
Right.
Yeah. So, oh, I don't want to be egotistical. And the librarians are like, go, be egotistical. So they want to empower us. They want to empower us to go forward and help claim the planet towards light.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and pursue your most powerful self. That's our challenge. Thank you so much for joining us.